Well, here we are again. We've got brand new data out today showing that U.S. manufacturing has contracted for the second consecutive month in April, with the ISM Manufacturing Index dropping from 49 to 48.7. And remember, anything below 50 means the sector is shrinking, not growing. In total, 41% of manufacturing GDP contracted in April, which tells you everything you need to know about the state of Donald Trump's promised manufacturing boom. And if this sounds familiar, it's because we've been here before. This is Donald Trump's second presidency, his second opportunity to deliver on manufacturing promises, and his second failure to live up to his word. But instead of admitting reality, Trump and his team are still out here talking about a new golden age.
We're approaching the dawn of America's golden age. It's going to be a golden age for America. We have things that nobody else has. We have more natural resources. We have, number one, nobody knew that until I came along. I made us number one. We're number three. I made us number one in a very short period of time in drilling. There's never been anything like what's happened in the list since we won the election. A couple of months since we won the election, the whole perception of the whole world is different.
Let me be crystal clear about what is actually happening here. The manufacturing sector is experiencing stagflation, weak demand, and price pressures now accompanied by evidence of production declines. That's not a golden age, that is an economic nightmare. But Trump wants you to believe that this is all part of some grand master plan. The White House put out a fact sheet claiming that studies have repeatedly shown that Trump's tariffs in the first term strengthened the U.S. economy and led to significant reshoring in manufacturing. Really? Because the actual numbers tell a completely different story. According to Economic Policy Institute senior economist Robert E. Scott, nearly 1,800 factories have disappeared under Trump between 2016 and 2018. That's not reshoring, that is the exact opposite. In fact, you don't have to look further than Trump's Foxconn debacle. Remember when he announced a $10 billion investment by Foxconn for a manufacturing facility that would create 13,000 new jobs? By 2021, Foxconn abandoned most of its plans and never delivered on the promise. So much for Trump being this master deal maker. Even Biden chided Trump for his failure, saying this:
our country's proud manufacturing legacy. Well, we had infrastructure day every week for 4 years. Didn't build a damn thing. He and the administration promised a $10 billion investment by Foxconn to build a new manufacturing complex, create 13,000 new jobs. In fact, he came here with your Senator, Ron Johnson, literally holding a golden shovel, promising to build the eighth wonder of the world. Are you kidding me? Look what happened. They dug a hole with those golden shovels, and then they fell into it. Look, they didn't shovel other dirt. They did shovel some dirt. 100 homes were bulldozed. They wasted hundreds of millions of dollars of your state and local tax dollars to promise a project that never happened. Foxconn turned out to be just that, a con. Go figure.
But here's the really absurd part. We just had a manufacturing boom under Joe Biden. Dean Baker, the economist and co-founder of the Center for Economic and Policy Research, said what we're spending building factories adjusted for inflation in 2024 was twice what it was in 2019. We've never seen a boom like that in the post-war era. According to Fred, total manufacturing construction spending topped $234 billion as of March 2025. In other words, Biden delivered an actual manufacturing construction boom that was unprecedented in the post-war era, and Trump's response is to implement policies that are immediately causing manufacturing to contract. That's like being handed a winning lottery ticket and then lighting it on fire because you think you can do better, only with no cogent plan to actually do it. And the business community understands that when you dig 1 inch beneath the surface, Trump's strategy is completely baseless. According to the National Association of Manufacturers Outlook Survey, there was a decrease in positive outlook among manufacturers, broad-based concerns over trade uncertainties and rising input costs, and slowing capital investments in the first quarter of this year. CEOs, too, across the industries are concerned with Trump's economic agenda. According to the latest What CEOs Talk About report, mentions of the keyword tariff during earnings calls jumped 190%, while mentions of uncertainty climbed 49%, and hiring freeze mentions skyrocketed 286%. Listen to what Alcoa CEO Bill Opplinger said. It's very hard to make an investment decision, even on something like a restart, without knowing how long the tariffs will last. And General Motors CFO Paul Jacobson warned, as much as the market is pricing in a big impact of tariffs and lost profitability, think about a world where on top of that, we're spending billions of capital, billions of dollars in capital, and then it ends, right? That's not confidence in Trump's golden age, that is fear about economic chaos, all created by Trump himself. But let's be honest about what Trump's real strategy is here. This isn't about actually delivering results. It is about creating a narrative that sounds good to his base while the economy suffers the consequences. Trump continues to promise that his tariff regime will usher in a new golden age for American workers with an explosion of high-paying manufacturing jobs, but more expensive imports guarantee the supposed manufacturing renaissance will turn out to be fool's gold for American workers. And that's exactly what we're seeing play out in real time. We know it doesn't work, and yet here we are again, watching manufacturing contract while Trump gives speeches about golden ages. This is what happens when you elect somebody who confuses slogans with strategy. Make America great again and golden age sound great on paper, but they are not economic policies. They are marketing gimmicks designed to distract from the fact that Trump has no idea how to actually improve manufacturing competitiveness in a global economy. Again, the tragic part is that we had a path forward with Biden's approach, investing in infrastructure, semiconductor manufacturing through the CHIPS Act, clean energy production through the Inflation Reduction Act. All of that was actually working. According to the White House, there had been over $860 billion in private commitments made for manufacturing projects since Biden took office. But Trump wants to repeal all of that, solely because he doesn't like that Joe Biden's successes eclipsed his, and his priority is protecting not the U.S. economy, but his own fragile ego. The bottom line is this: Trump has now had 2 opportunities to deliver on manufacturing. His first term saw nearly 1,800 factories disappear, and his second term is off to an even worse start, with manufacturing contracting for multiple months in a row. At what point do we stop pretending that Donald Trump's promises have any connection to reality? American workers deserve better than empty slogans and failed policies. They deserve leaders who understand that global competitiveness comes from innovation, investment, and smart policy, not from trade wars that make American manufacturers less competitive and American consumers poorer. But as long as Donald Trump keeps treating economic policy like a reality TV show, we're going to keep getting reality TV results. Lots of drama, lots of promises, and very little actual success. The only thing golden about Trump's manufacturing policy is the opportunity that he's creating for other countries to eat our lunch while we're busy shooting ourselves in the foot. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.